Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Aquarius. If Aquarius is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Four of Wands. And it has everything to do with completion. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and take a look at these tea leaves and see what they have to say tonight. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. All right. So we have like this little axe up here. Looks like some old school axe, double-sided. I'm looking at this and I'm feeling like, oh, look at that. We have the face of a wolf right here. But if you look at it straight on, you can't really see it. Now, if we turn it this way, you can see the two eyes here and here. Yeah, so it feels like we have somebody who really portrayed themselves to be something other than, what they usually are. Now, I'm not going to say somebody is always sneaky and backstabbing and cruel person. We are all many things, of course. But in this situation, it seems to me that we have somebody who, I feel like it's almost like you really looked up to them. And I look at this here, and it almost seems like somebody's sitting on a throne and they have that kind of halo behind them. They have kind of this elevated position of being, most venerated in your life. Like somebody that you just absolutely looked up to, that you do look up to. And something has changed. Some information coming to light, or some behavior that they have done less covertly, right? So I almost feel like it's like a hidden life. Like they have a whole other thing going on. And, I'll just stop here and say that everybody deserves their own privacy. They deserve to have, an interior life and, their own friendships and secrets and, things that we don't even have to share with our closest people, right? We should all be allowed to have that. There's nothing wrong with that. But then there are times when it's like, okay, well, you're literally somebody else. You're somebody else. You maybe even have a different name, right? Another family out there, or, something like that, where it's like, okay, you absolutely have a right to your privacy, but this is like infringing on the well-being of somebody else, right? So I feel like this is something, I don't know that it's new, but I do feel like it is something that is still profoundly, with you. Okay, this is not something that you have just been able to let go of. This is something that has really affected you. And I'm looking at this now, And I'm seeing that we have an owl in the same formation. And then we have the eyes, okay? And then we have the number 3. So it's almost like 3 strikes here. 3 things that really just, you know, you're not with it anymore. This is not, it's something that you're going to put up with anymore. You've lost some faith in this person, right? And although you still love them and you still, very much look up to them, I feel like you've had to cut them off. At least for now, because this is devastating for you. I almost wonder if this is like a parent. And I'm looking at this, I see we have Cupid. You can see holding the arrow, the wings. Now we also have a deer. And I almost feel like what comes to mind is this kind of idea of like the killing of a sacred deer. Now love is supposed to be the thing that is above all things, right? This is, you know, I feel like love is my own personal religion at the very core of everything. I feel like a lot of people live that way. And this isn't just romantic love. This is, you know, agape. This is love of family, love of humanity, love of life, and you know, whatever, expanding out and out and out. But there can also be, of course, the shadow side to love, to lust, sensuality, and it can become habitual. You know, it can definitely, we know, you know, there are a lot of people who go through periods in their life where they have, you know, love addiction, sex addiction, these kinds of things. And, you know, it goes from something that fuels our creativity, our ability to connect to others, our the drive that we have to do things that create love in our life, right? It gets so narrow, and there's like almost a fixation on certain people or sensations or, you know, impressions or whatever it is. And then it comes to a point where it's like you almost have to start abandoning your humanity. You have to abandon your ethics, your morals, your relationships to kind of feed this thing, this beast. And in a way it is a killing of this sacred being. And the sacred deer is kind of this symbolism of meeting that kind of wild spirit that is very much connected to the divine, going out into the wilderness to find yourself, to commune with spirit, and to meet the sacred deer in that work is to be face to face with a spirit guide, right? But through this compulsion, you know, it is a spiritual death. It can be. It's not everlasting, right? You can come back from it. But it is a spiritual death of some kind. And I feel like this person in your life, they may be, represented themselves as being, you know, somebody who's a family person or, you know, very concerned with treating people with respect and, you know, this kind of thing. But then to find out that you know, they had something going on, whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not going to look for the particulars in here. But I think it's something that, you know, it's pretty devastating. And something that maybe, you know, these kinds of things, especially when it's a parent or a sibling or, you know, something like that. And it's hard to face. It's hard to admit. It's hard to talk about because inevitably we have this, we share, you know, the same life in a lot of ways, parallel even, you know, living side by side through the years. And you can't help but internalize some of the behaviors of those people who are close to you. But that doesn't mean that it is your guilt or shame to carry, although it's almost impossible not to. So I feel like this is really what it comes down to, is that this is a thing that is heartbreaking. It is maybe embarrassing. It is maybe, you know, something that you don't know exactly how to, you know, what to do about it. What do you do? Do you confront them? Do you get involved? Do you stay out of it? Do you, you know, kind of grieve silently about, you know, the kind of, the way that you perceive somebody changing so drastically? I don't know, you know, it's very individual. But I feel like this is a situation where, you know, it feels, I mean, it does, it feels kind of destabilizing. And maybe this is something that has been a process that you've been going through for a while, right? Or this could be very new. Now, I hope it's not something in the future, but, you know, I don't know exactly. But I do think that this is something that, if this resonates with you, I hope that you are talking to somebody about it, you know, somebody you trust. Maybe it is a therapist or a counselor or, you know, a trusted somebody in your life, a support group, whoever or whatever. Make sure that you are able to express yourself to somebody that can hear you, right? That's not going to judge you or the situation. I mean, not really judge you, but, you know, judge the situation. That's the thing. I mean, just having these incidences where this kind of shame really comes up is, it's hard. It's hard. I mean, it creates a dynamic in yourself that, you know, and if it's like cheating or something like that, maybe not as deeply, but still that's so hurtful. You know, it changes it changes the tint of your memories a little bit, right? And let's go. Let's take a look. We have a person riding a bike here, okay? We have a bicycle up here. It almost looks like we have a person who has their bag packed and they're heading out, okay? So I feel like quite literally something to do with cycling maybe is a big deal for you. Maybe it is that you yourself ride bicycles, or you're a cyclist. I'm trying to think, like, what do we call them? I should know. I lived in a city I lived in Minneapolis, okay, so for a long time. I don't now, but big cyclist biking culture, right? So I don't know, maybe this is something that you do. Maybe it's something that you enjoyed when you were a kid. If you are my age or older, we all kind of grew up in this world where a lot of us went out and rode our bikes all day long, right? We went and on our adventures with our friends, and it was the kind of freedom that you'll never feel again, right? Being able to, it's like July 3rd, you're out of school and your friends are waiting for you outside. It's like, 10:30 in the morning, and your mom makes you a little sandwich. You put it in your knapsack or in your pocket. You get on your bike and you take off for the day. You're going to be home before dark, maybe. But you're going to be out there riding your bikes all over town, right? And that's something that, I don't know. I don't know if kids do that anymore, but I know we used to. Maybe you did too. And that is a freedom that, I can't imagine feeling that excitement again. I mean, I feel excited about things, but with no responsibility. No responsibility. And so I just feel like there is this feeling of like, I wish I could have that back. I wish that, while all this stuff is going on, while I'm feeling like this, I wish I could just, be 8 years old, 10 years old again, and getting on my bike and, taking off and, having plans to see the world, right? And, so I feel like it might be worth finding something for yourself to maybe go for a couple days, go camping in the woods, maybe go on a little road trip, maybe go work in your garden, don't answer the phone, don't look at the phone, this something like this where you can kind of just detox from all of the mess, all of the worry, get focused on something besides what's going on. Doing something that makes you feel, like there's a whole world out there. There are so many other things. And although this feels huge, and it is, you don't have to dwell in it all the time, 24 hours a day, until it starts to lessen as time goes by slowly, right? But it is, you need a little escape, I think. You need to maybe have, something for yourself. And now we also have a person riding a horse here, okay? And it looks like a stallion. So I feel like as, time is going by, we also have the word bee, B-E-B, and we have a person here holding a horn. Okay, so this is usually something that can be used for the opening of a ceremony, right? Of some kind of celebration or a ritual or, what have you. And this is used in a variety of cultures, okay? And so I feel like there's a rising strength, a knowledge that there is love here, even for this person who kind of feels like they've betrayed not only you, but the family in some ways, right? In a lot of ways. And there's still love there though, right? And here I feel you getting into a place where you're finding power through your own spiritual, religious, creative processes. And I'm trying to think, maybe, I don't know, maybe you come back from all of this in a couple of months and you are in a position of I want to kind of take a leadership in my spiritual journey. I want to focus on this work. I know that things are not as they seem. I had to come to this, really, we know this like kind of theoretically or philosophically. Things are left up to our perceptions. There are a lot of ways to look at something. Life isn't always as it seems and so on. But when it is something that is so close to you, it's undeniable that, yeah, there has been some illusion here. There's maybe been some, some real sneaky and, whatever, trying to kind of manipulate and all this. Yeah, it's undeniable. That hits a different way, right? So I feel you coming back into your power place and really focusing on existing, on just being. But also I feel really, really connected to spirit, okay? And sometimes, and I'm not one to romanticize suffering, but sometimes we need to partake in the ordeals so that we find some clarity, so that we can prioritize, okay? And so I do. I look at this and I feel like, you're going to come out really with that, just stallion, but also being able to hold on, to that wild beast, holding on, okay? And really thriving. Now, we also have the letter, it looks like it's EW. EW. Could be you, but I think it maybe is a name. But we also have another E here. So there are a couple E's. It seems like E is a really important letter. Okay, let's see. All right, and you can probably hear the sound in the background. I keep saying it on my readings. If I'm filming after midnight, something comes on in the house. I have yet to figure out how to change it, but it's timed and it has its, and it just happens to align when I'm filming. So I apologize. So we have the number 160, 160. We have a heart. Another heart. Lots of hearts. Okay. So I feel like, even with this kind of thing in the air, there is a sense of really getting closer with either like your romantic partner, your spouse, your partner, but also family, right? Or both, if you don't have somebody, you're maybe a single person. I feel like this is something that has brought you closer to some of the people in your life, right? And so, there are blessings in the troubles. There are always some blessings in the troubles. So I think that this is a unifying experience, even though it is an ordeal that you could have done without. Okay. All right. So now we have these Wild Offering Oracle cards, and I love them so much. I just got them yesterday, I think, and I had to use them immediately. It says that they're 52 card, or it's a 52 card deck on giving it all to God. Now, I don't want to alienate anybody. If you are not somebody who uses that word in your own belief system or your own experience of spirituality, I've looked through these and it doesn't align with anyone's system. So as far as I can tell, the language doesn't. So take this and apply it how you will to your individual experience, okay? And of course we have Ganesh, which he holds a valuable place in our house, an elevated place. He is one of the patrons of my daughter. At least in her youth, when I was experiencing my pregnancy and the first year of her life. It was really a very welcome energy in our home. Okay, and I'm going to stop where it feels right. Got to get used to using these big cards again. So it says change. Let's see if I can get this. Okay, change. Don't scare yourself with the next 40 steps. All you need is that one next action. You can say to love, just show me the first step and change me into one who can take it. Yes. They're so beautiful too, aren't they? I gotta start, I need to link these. I should start linking the decks that I put on here. So, Aquarius, I wish we had a little bit of a more happy and positive reading, but sometimes it really just comes out that way. And hopefully, you know, even if you're listening now, hopefully this reading did not resonate with you, okay? I hope not. But I hope, you know, at least that you get something from the reading. That's my big hope. So anyhow, I love you so much and I appreciate this time with you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you would like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all and they mean the world to me. And yeah, I think that's about it. It is the new moon. I just had just the loudest sound outside. Now, we live in a very, like, I don't know how much Paul, shout out to Dove and Serpent Tarot. That's my husband, Paul. I'm a lucky girl, I know. And I don't know how much he talks about, like, where we live and stuff, but we're now pretty rural. Very rural, and getting accustomed to all of the wildlife and stuff that is around. And I was just finishing my last reading and something loud was going on outside. So I was out there, you know, as soon as I could. I got my little phone camera and I was out there looking around into the dark void of the night, because there is no moon or, you know, light from the moon. And there's just a million frogs out there. They're singing away. And I could hear some Canadian geese out somewhere honking away as well. And I was kind of freaked out. And then out of nowhere, a cat just went walking by. And we do have a neighbor that's pretty close here, but it scared the heck out of me. I was so freaked out. I've been wanting to see the raccoons. There's a bunch of raccoons out here, and I've been wanting to say hello, but they haven't let me see them yet. I've heard them a little bit, but yeah, so that cat really, I was like, is this about to be a horror movie? I don't know. But I ran inside and locked the door. All right. So anyways, that's my silly story for the night. I'm always scaring myself. That's for sure. All right, Aquarius, I love you and I appreciate you. Please take care of yourself. We'll talk in just a few days from now. And yes, happy new moon. The solstice is coming up so much quick. We're in the beginning of May. Today I said April, but earlier I was like, oh yeah, in April. And the lady I was talking, she's like, we're in May. Like, oh yeah. Somehow we've time traveled halfway through the year almost. So I don't know how that happened. But yes, we're getting closer to the solstice. And I would love to hear, what are you all doing? What do you do for the solstice? What, if anything at all? But if you do, you know, want to share, please put it in the comments. I'm always so interested what everybody gets up to. So anyways, I love you. We will talk soon. Good night.